Systems are built with purposes in mind, and purposes are almost always found on ideas. The idea of Nigeria is a very, very bad idea. The idea that undergirds this country, that informed the design of the entire superstructure of governance, is a very bad idea. Nigeria is not found on the idea of citizenship. It is found on the idea of feudalism, the acceptable non-equality of persons who live within the same geographical space. That is why the law does not rule in Nigeria, because it cannot apply to all equally. That is the bad idea that rules Nigeria and that is ruining it. Nigeria is found on the bad idea of feudalism.
So, how do we correct this bad idea, or is it a case of the nation is doomed for failure? Because some people will call you a messenger of doom if you say we're doomed. Are we doomed?
The one thing about the truth is that it has very little respect for the opinions of those to whom it is delivered. What they do with it is entirely up to them. All I have pointed out is the fact that the way we are, our current trajectories, will not deliver anything positive. That is not a message of doom. It is a message demanding that we find redirection and then correct the error that has been pointed out. The antidote to feudalism is citizenship. If we elect to construct a country found on citizenship, we would have successfully walked away from the madness that has overtaken us. So it's not like we are in a situation where doom is unavoidable. What is making it seemingly unavoidable is the refusal of the Nigerian ruling class to address the problem that has been identified. The belief that they can continue on this unsustainable trajectory and deliver something sustainable. That is why it seems like it's gloom and doom. All Nigeria has to do is yoke the country to the rule of law. If you yoke the country to the rule of law, where the courts become effective, the constitution, as imperfect as it is, begins to reign supreme, we would have begun our journey to sanity. But we cannot continue our current trajectories and then expect that something positive will come out of what is manifestly evil. That is why it might seem like it's gloom and doom. It will be gloom and doom if we do not change our trajectory.
How do we begin to change? Because where we are now, some people said, oh, the economy is better than what it used to be. And I asked them the question, the economy as it relates to the macroeconomics, where some statistics are being said to look good, and some accountants or political economists said the numbers are massaged, but whether it's massaged or not, they still seem good. But that's macroeconomics. The man on the street doesn't do macroeconomics because that's not his business. He's only interested in what he eats today and how he takes care of his children and how he will ensure his wife will not die just because of malaria. That's not macroeconomics. That's simple, basic economy. Your thoughts?
I think the greatest error we all make, especially when we are considering Nigeria, is that we assume that the operators of the Nigerian system are unaware of the truth of what they are doing. So we measure what they have done and we say, oh, they failed in this place or they failed in that place. They have not failed. The system is working exactly as it is designed to work. When they point to those figures and they tell you about how well the economy is doing, they are completely correct, because what they want to achieve is exactly what they are achieving, the impoverishment of the Nigerian mass. When a people have been rendered completely impoverished, it becomes easy to be donating rice to them as the cure and elixir for all of their problems. So if the people who talk about insecurity, you give them one bag of rice, They will talk about bad road, you give them 1 bag of rice. They talk about bad healthcare system, you give them 1 bag of rice. We talk about all the children who are out of school, you give them another bag of rice. Rice has become the currency and elixir to every Nigerian problem. That is because the system as operated is designed to ensure the full feudalization of the country. And that can only happen when the people are sufficiently impoverished, sufficiently made ignorant. So when you talk about macroeconomics and you then begin to refer to the micro level where the man on the street, who knows how many meals he's able to afford in a month, who knows that he's living in a place that is unfit for human habitation. A man you are paying, you say it's 70,000 naira, that is your minimum wage. The reality is that if that man ignores to file his tax return, the fine is 100,000 naira. A bag of rice will take away more than half of his salary. So you have deliberately pauperized him. It's not as if you don't know what you're doing. Those are deliberate choices. The same government and country that can afford to keep lawmakers in luxury, governors living like pashas, the same country that can choose to build roads without tenders, that can choose to just throw money around like drunken sailor, is ensuring that the opportunity for the people to enrich themselves have been shut down and the process of impoverishment has been weaponized for all. So those numbers and the interpretation that persons in government are giving to it, I think we should take it as their own measurement of the economy. And then we should then take the time to be honest enough with ourselves. Are the people truly better off today, or are the people deeper in poverty? Their own figures will suggest we have over 140 million Nigerians living in multi-dimensional poverty, and they are clapping for themselves about a good economy.